Lankans are looking to clinch the 5-match series after convincing wins in the first 2 games, and the Zimbabweans need to pull something special out of the bag to prevent that from happening. Overnight rain and showers earlier today will cause some movement in the pitch, so when Zimbabwean captain Prosper Utseya won the toss, he elected to bowl first. Zimbabwe make just one change. Ed Rainsford comes in for Christopher Mpofu, while Sri Lankan skipper Mahela Jayawardene keeps the same side as the first 2 games. Let's move straight on to the action. Your commentators are Alistair Campbell and Dirk Villian.
Oh, and that's not a very good start from Edward Rainsford. It has been out of the game for a while. Sri Lanka off the mark with a wide, and very wide it was. Yeah, probably a little bit unlucky for the opening bowler Mpofu, who's had to miss out this game. For me, I thought the seamers up front for Zimbabwe had bowled pretty well. In all due respect, Sri Lanka not chasing a lot, so maybe not too much pressure on them. This will be different though today. They need to set a target.
That's fine, it'll be 4. 2 straight from Elton Chigumbura. And if you get anything on that, be it the bat or the thigh pad, it goes fine. You're normally going to get to the boundary. On that occasion, very finely played off the face of the bat from Upal Taranga, and Sri Lanka get their first boundary.
Yeah, it's gone a long way across. And, just getting enough of it to get it fine enough to beat fine leg, but also enough not to bring Tatenda Taibu into play. So first boundary for Sri Lanka. That's well fielded in the gully. Missing out again, not quite getting it off the middle of the bat.
That's up in the air. Fielder going back, just eludes him. So a bit of action in that first over. Wides and nearly a chance for Zimbabwe. 12 for none.
Big shout, and Russell Tiffin's given him. So Zimbabwe strike, and Mupariwa has got the breakthrough for his captain. Udawata's not happy. Got a stride in, but Russell Tiffin believes it's out, and Udawata's got to go.
Well, the thing to look for here is, did it hit him in line? I looked at first glance, I think it did, and I think that's a good decision from umpire Tiffin. Looking at maybe the inside edge, Udawata maybe claiming that he got a bit of an inside edge, but I think this pitched on line, and I think it's hitting. It came back enough. The only issue is maybe with height, but that's straight, there's no doubt about that. And umpire Tiffin, well, he makes the decision, and that stands. So Mahela Udawata has gone for 1. Sri Lanka now 13 for 1.
That's a great shot. It's found the gap right off the middle of the bat. It's not going to find the boundary, but should be an easy 3 runs. Sean Williams does the cleaning up. So an indifferent over. 4 bowled now. Sri Lanka 17 for 1.
Oh, that's a good looking shot. Smashed it through the mid-off region.
Yeah, that was just what we were talking about. He's just gone a little bit full there, and Taranga was right onto that. He wasn't going to miss out there. Lovely timing there.
Yes, on that occasion, Taranga just had a long stride into it. He's sort of smashed it, gave himself that room to hit it wide. Another one. This time again beats mid-on. So it's 2 successive boundaries. Taranga into the act. He's changing gear. End of the over, 34 for 1. That's pulled away. That's a very, very good shot. Sort of dropping it short. Sort of a rank long hop. Gave it the treatment. Very good delivery, and he's gone. Excellent delivery. Fine comeback from Chigumbura.
Yeah, as I was saying, he does bowl well to left-handers when he gets it in the right area. There he has got that in the right area, and forced the outside edge, which certainly will help Zimbabwe's cause. There you have it there. He's gone across him. Beautiful delivery, right length, And a nice comfortable catch for Tatendo Taibu behind the stumps. So Sri Lanka 41 for 2 after 8.3.
He's brought about. Slashes at that and it's gone.
Yeah, there he goes. He bowls that one wide and he has a slash, and that's the wicket. He is a wicket taker, and fortunately, from a Zimbabwe point of view, he's got another one there. I think it would have been called a wide. Jawadin has just flashed at that wide of the off stump. We take another look at it there. There's a very wide. He's thrown everything at it and got an edge to that, and that certainly will change the course of events from this stage.
As Jawad, then he'll be very cross with himself. He goes for 4, Sri Lanka 51 for 3.
Not as consistent as he may be. That's a good shot. Off the toes, too full as well. Flicked away for 4.
Beautifully done, wonderfully done, and despite the fact that we've had a lot of rain today, the outfield has slowed down quite considerably, but he's still got that away quite beautifully. It's one of his strengths out on his toes, and he made that look very, very easy.
Yeah, very neat. Head stayed still till the shot was played. Balance was good. And just the flick, not trying to hit it too hard. So Kabudagera gets a boundary for the first time. There again, just flicked off the toes. Leg stump line. Been some good deliveries bowled by Elton Chugambura, but he hasn't quite been as consistent as he would like. Good bit of fielding by Tawanda Mopariwa there.
I've been very impressed with the running of the running between the wickets by the Sri Lankans, Andy. Wonderful how they just drop and run and rotate to strike. And I think Zimbabwe batsmen can certainly take something from that.
Well, we were listening just now to the previous two commentators talking about Kumar Sangakkara and the experience that he has. He was at the non-strikers end there, very quick to get his partner into the two mode, as it were. But not just the running itself, also the way that they're looking for the one, even when they're playing the shot. 13 overs are bowled, 62 for 3, Sri Lanka. Projected totals, always interesting when you're getting to about a third to a halfway through the proceedings. You can see here that Sri Lanka perhaps behind where they'd like to be. Part of that, of course, is because they're 3 down. I would guess that they would have been looking at the start to definitely 200, and they'll have to go at 9 and over to get there.
Well, they do still have some firepower in their batting lineup, and the key so far is that Kumar Sangakkara is still there, and we know that he's capable of lifting his game at any given time as well. So 200 is still on.
That's a good shot, but he'll only pick up one. The sweeper's in position on the offside. Eddie Rainsford down there. That's the other thing that's been impressive about the Zimbabweans today. The ground fielding. There have been a couple of really good saves. I can think of a couple of diving saves from Vusi Sabanda and from Chibaba in the covers. Just lacked the placement, that one. Was a good shot, improvising. But he's great to watch, is Kumar Sangakkara. He's so elegant. Timing is so good. Awareness of where he can get those runs. And he's having to work hard because it says on song here, he can seem to sense when he's coming down the wicket and just holding it back a bit. That one quicker through the air. And he's raced through the over. 64 for 3, Sri Lanka. And nearly a caught and bowl, but it's got through. It came back slightly quicker than he thought it was going to from Sangakkara. I think that's a really legitimate chance he's missed.
I would say so. And how many times hasn't Prosper actually got people out with that caught and bowled? Many times in his... Oh dear, he should have taken that. But many times in his career that has happened, that he's actually got victims out caught and bowled playing back to him.
Yeah, it wasn't that difficult. It came at about eye height as well. Yeah, he just misjudged the pace of it altogether. And what a good wicket that would have been. Vital time. As it is, he just dropped that one a little bit short and allowed the right-hander to just nudge it away on the offside. Now, what about the actual shot making? How can you tell the difference between a shot like this one that's hit hard down the ground from Kumar Sangakkara that missed chance, and then the elegant little dab that followed?
Well, I got to be honest, I don't think that's as accurate as my bowling, as when the bowlers bowl. Invariably, sometimes when a bowler, for example, plays it off its pads, it's a bit more muffled than as opposed to down the ground or through the offside.
Here we go, where's that?
That actually just sounded like he maybe may have just pushed it back to the bowler.
Just went across it slightly, heading to the leg, but there was a bit of power there. Come down the ground here, that's a big shot, and it'll go all the way. He's taken his chance there, just cleared the fielder at deep mid-on. But he's taken the risk, and there's going to have to be some risk-taking by the Sri Lankans here. So they want to push this total further. It's Hamilton Masakadza who tried to affect the catch. But I think even if he'd made it, he would have been forced over the boundary by the momentum. And now the nudge just down the offside. So Prosper just going for a few after that drop catch. 75 for 3 after 16, Sri Lanka. And I'm afraid this is going to be punished. Big hit, and it's gone miles over the boundary. So Utsaha conceding.
Yeah, bro.
I just think that drop catch may have got to him a bit. He just seems to have lost his focus and his concentration with those 2 free hits. And goodness me, that has certainly cleared the boundary by a long way. So momentum now. Beginning to up the impetus is Sri Lanka. That's what they're doing.
So Sri Lanka just prospering through some errors made by the Zimbabwean captain.
Prospering by some errors made by Utsaha.
You are right.
And they're doing it pretty nicely at the moment.
Thank you.
This was a big 6, let me tell you. He's got all of it. He's taking time to change the field here again. In he goes.
Get it.
And just nudged away. That's the beauty of Sangakkara, as we said earlier. Got the ability to just work the ball around as well as play the more aggressive shots. It looks to me as though he's going to do a lot of the 1s and 2s and let Kabadagera take on the boundary.
Well, that's exactly right. And if you cast him on back to Thursday, Chambu Kapakidra, even though he only made 16 before Raymond Price got him, he was the only one who scored his runs at a runner ball on this heavy outfield.
That's well fielded. Stu Matskaneri, is it? Not sure there. Well done in the covers. The ground fielding's been excellent from the Zimbabweans. They've certainly upped their game there. Oh, he went for that. He didn't get hold of it. Just held back by Utsaha. This time it was the left-hander trying to hit the boundary shot. 88 for 3. Umpire Russell Tiffin not sure whether he should call the over. He should indeed, and will now. 88 for 3, Sri Lanka. And that is a great piece of work by Tatenda Taibu. Kabudagera isn't going to wait for the decision to be made by Alam Dar, and of course Russell Tiffin signalling the wide. That was definitely planned. It was definitely sorted before he even bowled the delivery. But how quick is this?
Absolutely amazing. It's one of his strengths, it's Tatenda Taibu. Goodness gracious me, look at that. Magnificent. It reminds me of a stumping he did back in 2003 when he stumped the South African captain Graham Smith off a slightly quicker bowler, Heath Streak.
How nice when a plan comes together. It's interrupted what to look to be a very promising knock by Kabudagera. 28 off 32. Sri Lanka now 94 for 4.
Again, picking the right spot.
Come, Mubi, come on, man. Make it past the go, man.
This time Sangakkara going over the bowler's head. Again, good use of the feet. And he plays so straight. And when you do that, taking the aerial route, the bowler, there's always runs to be made.
Yeah, great shot by Sangakkara. He hasn't quite middled this, but he's split the two fielders straight down the middle, and that was the secret. He's hit it in the air, but intentional, and hit it straight down the ground, and a dive in vain there for the Zimbabwe team. So once again, Sangakkara picking up another boundary, very quickly moving to 40.
Oh, man.
Pulls it away, but doesn't get hold of it quite. One more run. Sri Lankans have yet to ask for their final batsman's power play, which would mean that they would have plenty of areas over the infield to pick up runs, but the runs in the form of boundaries seem to be coming for the Sri Lankans now. Mubarak into the act, but he'll get only one.
Yeah, a reminder that also the bowlers' quotas in this shortened version of the game has also been reduced, so not too many overs left for Price. He's in his 5th over already, so we'll only allow him one more. And Sangakkara has probably spoken to Mubarak and told him that. Nevertheless, he's played the sweep shot. This one's also found the gap, and he's got enough batting.
Done, Hemi!
So we'll only
Good
be
boys,
the 2.
good boys.
But, another good over for Sri Lanka. And, 9 runs coming from it. Sri Lanka 126 for 4. Big shot attempted by Sangakkara. Once again, he's pushing 2, and he should get it. Oh, he's been sent back. There's a chance. And umpire Russell Tiffin's called for the 3rd umpire. This will be a huge disaster for Sri Lanka if Kumar Sangakkara has been run out.
I think Kumar Sangakkara is quite livid about the fact that Mubarak really didn't make too much of an attempt to look for the second on that occasion. You could see that he was merely sort of taking his time over the first run. Sangakkara had virtually decided he was going for the second, but he was sent back by Mubarak, and this might be very close. Or Sangakkara is in. I think he's made it. There's no doubt. But again, I think Mubarak needs to be a little bit more urgent in this situation.
Yeah, he's safe, and a slight scare. Zimbabwean, you could see straight away they weren't overly convinced that it was out. But let me just tell you, I'm sure Sri Lanka had their hearts in their throats, and there's the green light. So Sangakkara gets off. Mubarak, I think he probably would have been the most nervous out of all of them.
Yes, I think Mubarak really has to see that turning these ones into twos are so important at this stage of the innings. Just look at Sangakkara and just look at Mubarak. He's just ambling around, meandering, and Sangakkara is virtually creased when he had not even creased at the striker's end, being the non-striker.
That's in the air, but he's found the gap, pushing hard again. And that slight scare might have woken Mubarak up a little bit. Needs to be pushing hard. Getting his senior partner back on strike. A good over so far by Mupariwa. I think the secret as well, you touched earlier that Zimbabwe had done really well. They only scored 39 runs in their last 30 balls. I think the secret is they've kept the boundaries down to a minimum. And that's the key for me. That's a good shot. He's just waited on it, lofted over the bowler's head, and in so doing kept the strike. So 24 overs gone. Sri Lanka 132 for 4. There's a big shot. This one he has middled, and it's going to find the boundary. One bounce and over the boundary rope. So the wide forcing him to bowl another ball, and it's gone to the boundary. This one he's gone big. It's in the air, and it's a chance for the captain, Prosper Utseya. And that's a great catch. He's let it go, and Mupariwa has picked up a fantastic catch. And the in-batsman Sangakkara, trying to force the score, is going to have to go.
That was a magnificent catch. See, compensating for that early miss of Sangakkara. He had a lot of ground to cover. In fact, he was inside the 30-yard ring. Sangakkara was looking to go over that. And just look at this catch. Sort of had a lot of ground to cover, and finally leapt at the ball and clung on to it. A good catch. In fact, a great one. Sangakkara departs for a fine 57. Sri Lanka 149 for 5.
Third man on the boundary, a mid-on the boundary, and a square leg on the boundary. And he's bowled a full toss. It's come straight out the middle, and that is out of the ground, over the tents. So 6 more to Sri Lanka. What a good hit by Mubarak.
Mubarak making good use of that full toss from Rainsford. He's been looking for the boundaries, looking for the big shots, and this was a gift. Nice height, and there was no cover whatsoever, but there was no need for that. Cleared the ropes by a good 10-12 yards.
So 3 balls bowled now in Rainsford's over, the 27th over, and 9 runs from it already. That's better. He's found the block hole. They're going to push hard, but Maroof just happy with the single. Oh, he's found the edge, and it's gone pretty fine, and Ed Rainsford's not going to cut that off. So a little bit of luck for Sri Lanka, but Mupariwa offering a little bit of width, and only allowing Sri Lanka to pick up a much needed boundary through the slip area.
So boundary coming from the least expected area, the outside edge, flying past the wicket keeper, with the deep third man standing rather squarish, not fine enough to save the boundary. It's a good way to start the over. 4 runs.
Yeah, as much as Zimbabwe were unlucky, not the right areas to be bowling. It's got to be nice and full and nice and straight. Just like that. He manages to get it away, but he's got protection on the mid-on boundary. Obviously, Sabunda does the cleaning up. So, 3 balls bowled now, 6 runs so far, and Sri Lanka should get themselves over 170. Should be happy with that, Ranjit?
I would think that the Sri Lankans, having their 2 spinners, might tell themselves that this might be a decent score to try and defend. But again, a lot would depend on how the Zimbabwean openers approach. That's in there, and there's a man under it. It's Raymond Price, isn't it? Yes, it is. Keeps his eyes on the ball and clings on to it as soon as it's on its way down.
Reasonably easy catch for Raymond Price. And Mubarak perishes in the cause for his team, looking for the big shot over mid-wicket and only getting a leading edge. Raymond Price at backward point, not a place he'd find himself fielding very often, but need the quick men on the boundaries, and a couple of steps back and pouches it very nicely. So Sri Lanka lose their 6th wicket, and Mubarak's the man to go for 22. Sri Lanka 167 for 6.
Where's the ball?
4 runs scored, signalled rather, by Russell Tiffin, and after a loud appeal by Tatenda Taibu for an LBW, Russell Tiffin deciding that he's got some bat on it. So another boundary for Maroof.
Useful runs for Sri Lanka, as you would see. Say he bowled a slow one, Mupariva, on that occasion, and may have been lucky that Maroof got away with that.
So last ball of the innings, and that's a good ball right in the block hole and out. So after thinking it might have been a bum ball, he set it straight to cover, and the captain pouches a wicket. So losing a wicket on the last ball, not important for Sri Lanka, but 171 now for 7, and good ball that from Mupariwa right in the block hole, and Prosper Tsaya taking a pretty simple catch.
So again indicating how important it is to bowl fuller lengths at the end of the innings, and Sri Lanka 171 for 7, and I think the Zimbabweans to some extent must be quite pleased with the way they've handled this situation. The bowlers, although they were a bit wayward, they gave away a little too many wides, but all in all they've been able to keep the Sri Lankans to a total which is not awesome. Zimbabwe need 172 runs to win of 28 overs at 6.14 runs per over, and again I think we are in for a very, very good game here.
Yeah, 172 was the total, and we called 220. The Sri Lankan batsman, couple starts, Turanga, Sangakkara, the pick 57 or 59. At the end there, Maru 14 off only 8 balls. All chipping in, getting 171, and we mentioned that maybe the wicket was a little bit slow. Sri Lanka should be happy with that. And the bowlers for Zimbabwe, the pick being Chikumbura and Mupariwa. Mupariwa picking up 4 wickets, a little bit costly for 51 runs, and Chikumbura 3 for 37. The spinners doing really well. They 33 and 28 apiece in the shortened version of the game.
So it's Farvez Maroof.
Conditions at Harare Sports Club, we've seen a lot of cloud cover, obviously after the huge storm that happened first thing in the morning and right through most of the morning before the start of play. Now cloud cover, but there is blue sky as well. Conditions very good for swing bowling, I would suggest, and the pitch not quite coming on, so batting not at the easiest. But Hamilton Masakadza, who would be annoyed that he was run out in that first one-day international, didn't get many in the second.
So they get off the mark, the Zimbabwean innings picking up their first runs. Oh, he goes over the top. That's a good looking shot. Just gets himself into a position to swing his arms.
Too much of a 9-iron shot. He wanted a 5-iron, didn't he? Having said that, he did well. Picked the length, just short of a length. He was looking for the fuller ball to bang over the infield. But importantly for him, kept his eye on it, didn't try and smash it too hard, just kept the line of the bat through the ball. Having a look at his bat, perhaps he got it slightly lower on the blade than he wanted, but he will be looking for those gaps in the early power play overs. Inner portion of the bat, the off cut. Vusi Spanner looking around for the delivery there, but run affected.
You feel that the intention is to try and get as many runs as possible in the early overs, but you have to be careful that the boundaries aren't going to come as easily. So because the Sri Lankans too are going to mix their deliveries in the scenario.
Bit of in swing as well as off cut. So Vusi Sabanda just finding himself a bit cramped as he's trying to play the ball on the offside, when perhaps if he just opened that left foot a little bit, he'd be able to play it straight and on the leg side. Have a look at this. He's just a bit cramped, and that foot pointing towards extra cover. Just wants to open it like it was at the end there, but after he completed the shot.
Oh, no. Over.
Quite a bit of movement there. Zimbabwe have got to 8 without loss after 2.
Really find that it's an enjoyable task.
That's wayward. Masakadza playing the right shot there, just getting a thinner blade on it than he was intending, but really at the end of the day was asking to be hit.
Yes, I think that ball deserved 4 runs to the batsman, whichever way it came, either through the pads or off the bat. Again, there was some bat, so batsman being credited with the 4 runs.
Masakadza picked the line quite quickly on that. Saw it was down leg side and gave it the heave-ho. Just got contact. That one he's got lots of bat on. That has gone all the way over a wideish mid-on. 20 without loss, Zimbabwe. Occasions. Just hard to control sometimes when it does that. That one's pulled away by Masakadza, using bounce to his advantage there. And you know what? That's a great shot.
It is a great shot, and the pitch can be very unforgiving when it's pitch short, as we saw on that occasion. The ball just came in nicely for Masakadza to try and pull it away, and he got it on the meat of the bat, and the ball soared over that square leg boundary. So this is very, very useful for Zimbabwe, with 2 sixes so far in this innings.
He really has come in with positive intent this afternoon. It's not often you will see him that aggressive. But obviously a shortened game, 28 overs, and he's got the opportunity to open and get in while the power plays are affected and the field restrictions applicable. He's taking full advantage of anything loose.
Certainly some concern for Jayawardena. That time the slower delivery ended the over, 32 without loss.
Zimbabwe are going at definitely the right sort of run rate required. And just have a look at the little red worm as it starts its proceedings up the graph. It's going very nicely for Zimbabwe at this stage. No wickets down, that's part of what's happened. And now, just some composure, consolidation round that, and they're in again.
So the more you play shots like the way they've done, your confidence tends to grow more and more. And I think part of Zimbabwe's problem has been that there's been a lack of confidence, and that has resulted in the composure too falling down. And batsmen who get themselves in, like these openers have done, it's so important that they see through to a good part of the innings, rather than through bad choice of shots lose their wickets.
There's another one in the air. He's got all of this. It'll just go a couple of bounces. Of course, the outfield slightly heavy with the earlier rain, so it won't go all the way, but he's certainly got enough of it to be happy with what he'd done. It definitely seems to be anything that's pitched up slightly fuller than the bowler wants. The batsman looking over the head for the shot.
So the intention was right, Sabanda. So he's playing it straight with that top elbow in control. And when you have fielders inside the ring, it's always a safe shot.
And then the pull. There's a fielder there for that very shot, but he's got all of it. That is the longest part of the boundary here today, with the strip right across on the other side. Sabanda really has hit that.
Oh, a cracking shot by Sabanda on that occasion. Again, Kulasekara paying the penalty here. So if you go short like that, you do it at your peril, but just look at that. Lets the ball go on its way. At what timing? Perfect position to play it, and it's cleared the man at square leg. So the Zimbabweans certainly have something for their fans to cheer about, and there's a lot more noise in the stands.
Another good shot. This one foolish. Driven through the offside. There'll be another couple here. Not sure the Sri Lankans just trying to vary too much instead of concentrating on line and length. Trying to wicket take rather than keep it runs per over down.
His runs coming at a very good pace for Zimbabwe. So Mahela Jayawardena, would he introduce spin even in these power play overs? I'm sure that might enter his mind, as the quicker bowlers haven't really done anything to worry these Zimbabwe batsmen.
Savannah might think he's missed out there. In fact, he does. He saw him just kick the ground there. He knew the line was leg side and that he had the opportunity to flick away. But here's the comparative where Sri Lanka were at the similar situation. Zimbabwe, without a wicket loss, double the amount of runs. So the start is there. What can they build on?
Over.
Zimbabwe 42 without loss after 8 overs. Those up, it becomes very difficult for this fielding side. There's the power. Another good shot, and it's gone square enough to get 4 as well. That's a fine shot.
Offside, and that's where he's going to look to bowl. Across the right-hander, but you can't bowl there. Short, wide, and Hamilton Masakadza, who's played absolutely brilliantly here today, takes full toll. Another boundary. Oh my word, just what Zimbabwe didn't want. It's Vusi Sibanda, he gets one with a bit of width, and he fancied his chances, only succeeded in getting the top edge to Sangakkara. Takes a fairly regulation catch, and Zimbabwe lose their first wicket.
And this is the danger of it. This is what is spoken about, all the hard work undone in a minute. Vusi Sibanda, how many times haven't we seen him get out in this fashion? No footwork whatsoever, and having a full go at one outside the off stump. Tushara gets his man, and Zimbabwe are 76 for 1.
Have we seen that before? Yes, we have. Magnificent shot from Tatenda Taibu. We saw it in the first one-day game, employing that reverse sweep to score off Muralitharan and off Ajanta Mendes, and only his second ball turns around and plays it and executes it perfectly.
Masakadza on 49, goes for the quick single, so he will get a 50 in this third one-day international. Has a look at the heavens, back in neck, back in form, and importantly for Zimbabwe, still in at a very important time.
Yeah, he's played particularly well. This is his 9th ODI 50. And should he bat for another 5 or 6 overs, Zimbabwe will certainly be in a position to win this game.
There's the shot down the ground. The mid-off is up, but Taibu is so quick that really there was no danger in taking that run whatsoever. What Masakadza needs to do as he tires is not to try and hit the boundaries at this time anyway. Follow Taibu's example, get the rotation of the strike. And how are Sri Lanka going to prevent that? Well, only 4 in the inner ring.
Just looking at the Zimbabwean change room, they're looking a lot more confident than they did the other day. I think there could be that belief that they could win this one. That is the key to this whole series. So they're in a great position here. All they need to just keep their heads, rotate the strike, and leave it to the last 5 overs or so.
What a great shot. The fielders, the wickets on this occasion, prevented a boundary, I'm absolutely certain. Masakadza nice and straight. And Zimbabwe post the 100. 100 for 1. Masakadza improvising, coming down the offside to give himself room on the leg side, knowing that the fine leg is posted up in the inner ring. Good cricket, he's got his boundary.
Yeah, he's played really positively right the way through this innings. Hamilton Masakadza, he's come right across the offside, waited for that, knowing full well that fine leg's up on the 1, and popped that one straight over his head. 1, 2 bounces and 4.
He's gone into the vacant area between the fielders posted on the leg side. That's a good option. He's dragged it from well outside off. That's a sign of a player who's in.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, Andy. What they've done well here is the batters that have got in have faced the spinners. Seen off the seamers, he's taken that from way outside the off stump and hit that through the deep mid-wicket area for 4. Excellent shot.
Gone for the big shot, and he's hit it over extra cover, and has found the gap. So 4 more to Hamilton Masakadza, taking him into the 70s, and that great shot from Hamilton brings up the 50 partnership.
Certainly a very fine partnership, and Masakadza has certainly been the man who's really taken Zimbabwe closer and closer. In fact, not the best looking shot in terms of a textbook.
Giving a good go at it, and then he smacked back, split the mid on and mid off, and that's going to go for 4 more. So once again Tusera bowling length, and Masakadza hammering it down the pitch, almost wiping out the umpire, and 4 more to the total.
Yes, not only did it split the 2 fielders, it almost took umpire Alim Dar apart, but again hitting with absolute power. This is really power hitting, as you would say. There's a lot of bottom hand, but it's hit it straight down the ground. In fact, gave umpire Tilda Tushara no chance whatsoever. And in fact, the Sri Lankans now seeing that this game is certainly drifting away from them. They were 126 for 4 at this stage, and the Zimbabweans just lost 1 for 134. This is in there. And that's taken in the deep. So some respite, relief for the Sri Lankans. And Masakadza's very, very fine innings coming to an end. The outside edge, he went again with the bottom hand, took the outside edge, flew to Dwan Kulasekara down in the deep, and he certainly didn't want to make a mistake here. So Zimbabwe lose their 2nd wicket. A very, very fine innings coming to an end. 134 for 2. So 134 for 2. You can see that he picks up the wicket. Gone! And what a fine stumping. It's paid off. Ajanta Bendis's leg break grips on the surface and rips outside the bat of Chikambura. And Sangakkara doesn't miss too much. So the Sri Lankans have picked up another wicket. A very, very important one at a critical stage of the innings.
Yeah, Alton Chikumbura just aimlessly wandering down the crease, and he's played right around it, and he's actually bowled him. So Mendes comes back into the attack and straight away picks up Chikumbura, and he's gone for 3. Bowled Mendes, Zimbabwe 141 for 3.
Must remember that this is a power play. Bowled him! Slow delivery. And that is a big wicket, the wicket of Tatan the Tribal. He was looking to whip it down the onside, and Kulasekara has struck for Sri Lanka. A vital blow coming at a very, very important stage in this innings.
Yeah, Tatenda Taibu playing right across us. He looks like he's trying to hit this over mid-wicket, and a great slow ball. Looked like a leg spinner from Kulasekara, and look how happy he is. Fantastic over by him, 7 runs from it. Taibu's got to go. A well-played innings for 31 bowled Kulasekara, Zimbabwe, 151 for 4.
This game is turning out to be a very, very tight one. Masakadza, he puts it away. Albi runs here and 4 runs. It reaches the boundary. Did it go right over? So the umpire is wanting to have a look at it.
Looked like 4 to me, but you can hear Sangakkara screaming in the stump mic. He's not very happy. Fielder not on the boundary, and what a fantastic start to the over. I assume that means get on the boundary, Ranjit. It's the leg spinner, look to me, and we'll have a look. I don't know. We're going to have a closer look at that. Oh, it looks like 6 to me. And here we go. Here's the signal. It's 6. So what a fantastic start. You can hear the crowd. They're very happy with that. So 6 runs off the first ball. And Masakadza has put Zimbabwe right back into this game.
Yes.
Oh, he's found the gap again. It's gone fine. It's going to run away for 4 more. 4 more to Zimbabwe. So 10 off 2 balls. And Zimbabwe right back in it.
What an over this is turning out to be. You could see the crowd so excited. The dressing room virtually delighted. All those smiles. 6 and a 4. That of Ajantha Mendes. Sheer desperation on the part of the Sri Lankans. He cuts it down hard, beats Mahela Jawa on that short third man, and the ball's racing through. He used the pace very, very well. A quickish delivery from Ajantha Mendes.
Yes.
Oh, well played, a good single. So 10 off 10. This equation really getting exciting.
2, please.
Yeah, what a fantastic start to the over. 6-4 and then a 1. And the call for the new batsman, Shibaba, would just be to get the other side of the crease, rather the wicket. All the fielders far back on the ring, so easy singles to be had.
Oh!
Oh, and what a great ball by Mendes.
Well, this is really what Ajantha Mendes can produce. A new batsman can always find himself in a great deal of trouble. You really don't know which way it's going. And one really must have a heart for Shibaba.
Yeah, not a great time to come to the wicket. But, unfortunately, this comes part and parcel of being a professional sportsman. You know, to be able to handle the pressure. And he's had his one-sighter, 10 off 8 balls. Zimbabwe's still a firm favourite here. He's cleaned him up. Clean ball. So, once again, the game swings.
Yes, this really has been swinging from side to side. Shibaba, as I did mention, you really can't blame him too much. He was expected to make runs quickly, but all he probably needed to do was try and push the single along. But it was not to be. He looked for the sweep, and Ajantha Mendes, if he misses, he strikes. He's very much on target, round the legs, and bowls in. So Sri Lanka, once again, a slight ray of hope through the spinner Ajantha Mendes. Shibaba goes, and Zimbabwe lose their 5th wicket for 162. So Muralidharan, the first ball in his final over. And it's been given out. Yes, it is a wicket. Muralidharan, he strikes first ball. And again, dead silence all around. And the Sri Lankans edging in slowly into this game.
Yeah, not sure where Masakadza wanted to hit this. There was no run on the offside, and it looked like that's where he wanted to drop it for a single. Singles ain't going to win the game for Zimbabwe, and my option would have probably been a sweep shot. He's gone back to Muralidharan, and can't find it more dead than that. So, with the first ball, Muralidharan's got himself another wicket, and not too much decision to be made by Russell Tiffin. Good innings there by Masakadza, rather Masakadza. He's got to go for 19 of 10 balls. Zimbabwe now 162 for 6.
Has gone stumped, and the Sri Lankans have finally made it, but not without a lot of scares. The Sri Lankans again, their experience sort of pulling this game out of almost a situation where they would have lost it. But again, one can't deny the Zimbabweans credit. Sri Lanka winning this game by 5 runs. The last wicket falling. Again, Muttai Muralidharan using his experience and delivering the goods for his country.
Yeah, he's too good, Muralitharan, I'm afraid. And equally good behind the stumps is Kumar Sangakkara. And he whips the bails off. And look at the Sri Lankans. He's happy. That's a run out, not a stumping. And the Sri Lankans are happy. Jaya Wardena, I think he's taken a few deep breaths. Oh, he missed the stumps. And he's had to go back again. And that might be closer than we think.
Yes, we've seen some very good performances in this one-day international. There you are, that Sangakkara finishing off the... Oh, I'm not quite sure whether the batsman was out or was he ruled out, but it didn't really matter because the Sri Lankans had, in fact, not given any runs in that last sort of ball. And there you are, rather dejected Zimbabwean team. They fought to the end, but Sri Lankans, they'll be relieved. That and there you are, that's the last wicket which went for Muttai Muralidharan, and the stumping was declared out. But pats all around. But the Zimbabweans certainly not disgraced. They played very, very good cricket. They took the Sri Lankans all the way till the end, and it's just that they didn't have the experience to finish it off.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it comes down to the experience, and Sri Lanka showing their experience. They were nice and calm at the end there. Sri Lanka winning by only 5 runs, and chalk and cheese to the first 2 games. So well done to Zimbabwe. Unfortunately, they'd probably be a little more disappointed in that. They would have felt they could have won this game.
And that sums up the match.